Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers did not lose $4.5 million. He got robbed of $16 million by his interpreter. And Ohtani, and we predicted this, had no idea. Ohtani gave his phone to the feds. He said, here it is, Justice Department, have my phone. I got nothing to hide. And they went digging, and it wasn't Ohtani. Now, I know you all love your conspiracy theories, but my takeaway has been even the average successful person in America has no idea how entertainment stars live. And then you have two different countries, 7, 10, 12 revenue streams. Ohtani's not an accountant. He's not an American kid whose dad's in the market. He is from a foreign land. He comes to America. He relies on a lot of people in this country to be honest and have integrity, and the one that was closest to him screwed him. By the way, a lot of athletes and actors in my life have been hosed. Billy Joel lost $80 million. Robert De Niro in some, I think it was art, lost $88 million. Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Kareem, taken for a ride. And these are smart people. So how do you get money from a rich person? You get close to them. You don't give it to a stranger. So it looks like Ohtani, and this was my takeaway. I was listening to media people talk about, you wouldn't notice a bank account. He doesn't look at his bank account. I guarantee he's got 6 of them. I don't know a lot of rich people, but I've known a few celebrities. They hand their finances over to people. They get a monthly stipend. They get a monthly check sent to their financial advisor. And then you cross your fingers that your accountant's not a creep and that your interpreter's not a bad guy. But I've watched athletes my whole life. I mean, I've been interviewing athletes. And it's remarkable how often athletes trust people with their worth, their net worth. It's shocking to me. I mean, I've got like 6 different, I'm not rich. I've got a bunch of people that I have in my life and I've had forever, but they all kind of check on each other just in case somebody goes sideways, gets into trouble. I have a series of, people checking on people, not because I don't like them or trust them, but that's the way you got to do. But Ohtani comes from another country, doesn't speak the language. You cross your fingers that the people in America that have been surrounded him or hired to help him are ethical, and when money gets involved, people get crazy. When love and money get involved, it's like sex and money change people. I'm sorry, I've known good people that have done horrible things. Sex and money change people. And it looks like he just got robbed of 16 large. Now, the feds called the press conference, and to Ohtani's credit, he gave them their phone. He gave them his phone, just said, you guys just do what you guys got to do. That sounds like an innocent guy to me. A lot of people bury the phone. He didn't. What do you make of it?
Yeah, no, I'm
bummed
the more
out.
I read, I'm just like disgusted. This guy was like major creep, took advantage of Ohtani. $16 million? Just robbed him. He was impersonating Ohtani on the phone with bank officials. This stuff is really disgusting. I mean, this guy, he deserves to go to jail for a long time.
And now we're getting all the messages. He was robbed of $16.5 million by his interpreter. There are no baseball bets on this. I never believed it was Ohtani. I thought he got robbed. I didn't think they bet baseball. The conspiracy wackos are going to come out of the woodwork. All the insiders in Vegas, here it comes. Gamblers are a different, breed. So I'm not looking forward to that. J-Mac, some of the phone messages in this 37-page manifesto by the feds, what are you seeing on the phone messages?
So here's one from the interpreter, September 24th, 2021. You could probably look up the date to see what actual match this is. The interpreter message a bookmaker. I've just been messing around with soccer. There's games on 24/7. LOL. I took UCLA, but they lost outright. I mean, this is the kind of degenerate gambler this guy was. He just messing around with soccer with Ohtani's money. Betting, losing, doesn't care. On to the next one. I mean, this guy was... he's certifiably insane, right? Like, just betting on sports he doesn't even know. I'm messing around with soccer. He lost $40 million to the gamblers.
It's crazy. I get nervous. I mean, I am very pro sports gambling. $50 to me is like, I feel good about that. Can I hit a 2-team parlay? $100, that's a serious bet. We both make a nice living. I mean, some people just, there are also some people that are just more aggressive. More manipulative.
Well, I mean, if you gave me a free roll and said, hey, here, Jason goes, I would hopefully be able to win some stuff. But
would you rather have a free bet or a free steak dinner?
I would need more information. Where's the steak dinner?
I lean into food.
Yeah. Well, it depends what the bet is and the size. Hold on. Here's another one. November 14, 2022. Interpreter message a bookmaker. I'm terrible at this sport betting thing, huh? LOL. Any chance you could bump me up again? As you know, you don't have to worry about me not paying. That's from, basically the reporters for MLB are going through all the 37 pages and pulling out some stuff. They got all his text messages. This guy stole Ohtani's money and gambled it away and was terrible at gambling.
And was just beyond cavalier.
Unrepentant.
Yeah, callous.
Bank fraud. Like, this guy's just
there are bad people among us. And bad doesn't mean murdering people, but there are people without a conscience. There are really bad people out there. And we've had them in our church. You know what I mean? We've had them in our school systems. We've had them in government. There are bad people out there that just can do evil things to what they call friends. I don't get it. Like, it's sociopathic. I mean, it's crazy. They'll find, like, this doesn't rise to serial murder, but I read a lot of books about, true crime. And a lot of times there's this thing that all serial killers have where they later acknowledge, yeah, I just didn't care. I didn't have the gene that I cared about people. Like, that's like a real thing in the Green River Killer in Washington State. He's like, yeah, I never had empathy. I just don't have it. And there are people that don't do terrible things that acknowledge they lack that empathy gene where they cry, they feel bad for others. It doesn't always end tragically, but this guy sounds like somebody. He is sociopathic. Like, he just doesn't care. It's cavalier. It's like, it's not my money. He's got a lot of money coming. I don't care. I don't know how people can do that, but it's out there, and it happens all the time with pro athletes and entertainers. Yeah. Any other good phone messages here?
I mean, there's a lot to comb through. I think tomorrow's show is going to be really good. Once you have time to go through the 37 pages. This just broke, 45 minutes ago, an hour ago?
We should tell people Ohtani gave the feds his phone. Said, you go.
Yeah, here it is. I'm an open book.
Would you do that if you were guilty?
You got nothing to hide. Right?
Check my house, check my computer. Here's my phone. You get all of it. That's an innocent man. To everybody except conspiracy guy. That's coming.
Has the Jets quarterback weighed in on this yet or no?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to get into that.
I know some people sent me a link to something else he said recently. I'm
over it. Yeah. Well, I tend to think conspiracy theorists are people that think somehow that society doesn't recognize their brilliance. And so they want to find things where they have information that you and I, dim bulbs, we don't have. So there's a lot of conspiracy theorists have the biggest egos in the world. They want to prove that they really have insight. Reddit board guy. That's what, when you get conspiracy theory, it's guy that wants to show you the insight that us commoners don't have, instead of actually doing homework. And the feds here are not the Dodgers. They're not baseball.
Yeah.
You got wire fraud. This is big boy serious. Thank God the Dodgers contracts pay people down the road. Thank God for that. I mean, so he was, in some way, the Dodgers protected him. More to come.